I want to encourage each and every one of you. I've said that this program is designed to help you. Sometimes the help comes in ways of encouragement. Most of the time, people need to be encouraged. You need to be encouraged this morning.
Well, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here at Mentoring Winners Live. Those of you who are here present and those of you who are online via Facebook, thank you so much. You're very, very welcome to this place. As always, the worship was great, and I love coming into the presence of God. I think sometimes we have a misunderstanding of the benefits of praise and worship and why we even praise and worship, but I'm going to give you one reason why we come into God's house to praise and worship. And one reason is, if it's not enough, it's just that the King owns everything. Now, it doesn't sound like much, right? The King owns everything. God owns everything. That means that every breath that you breathe, every time you inhale, it's only because that oxygen belongs to God, and He's allowing us to use His oxygen. And so we come before the King to acknowledge that the oxygen, even that we breathe in, belongs to Him. But we don't think about that, right? We take it for granted. And to thank Him that He's allowing us to every time to breathe it in. So that's just one reason. Now, multiply that with everything that occurs in your life, every heartbeat. Everything that you have that you don't have. I mean, just everything belongs to the King. And that's just one reason. But today, that's not our topic. Today, what I would like to discuss with you guys is authority misunderstood. Authority misunderstood. And why do I think this is very important and critical for us to talk about? Is because our revelation or our understanding, our perception of authority is expressed in how we treat one another. Hopefully, that's what I would like to point out today, that our understanding of authority, how we perceive it, how we understand it, our idea of authority is expressed how? In how we treat one another. And why is that important? Because in the kingdom of God, in the kingdom culture, we are commanded to love one another. We are commanded to treat each other with gentleness and kindness, not to be envious or unkind. And so that is why I think that this is a very important topic that we can discuss. So when I say authority, when I say the word authority, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Anyone? The first person that... Superior. Anybody else? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say authority? Authority, rules. One more. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when we talk about authority or when you hear the word authority? Father. What is it? Father. So we see that we have three slightly different perspectives of authority, right? So this is important for us to take a look at. So our perspective or our idea or understanding, it comes from our firsthand experience. However it is that you understand authority, it comes from our, hello guys, from our firsthand experience. Does that make sense? So our understanding of authority is always going to come from our firsthand experience. And the thing about it is that firsthand experiences can either be positive or negative. But nonetheless, they're going to leave an imprint or an impact in our lives, and that's going to shape and mold how we understand authority. So some people, when you say authority, they go like, ain't nobody authorizing me. Ain't nobody, what? Say what? You author what? Say who? And other people, they'll see it different, right? Because it all depends on what's our experience. What was our encounter when we hit experience? And usually that encounter, the first one is who? With authority. That's right, your parent. Now, negative and positive impacts, they shape our mind. For example, if you had a car accident in a certain place, right? That may, or it has caused people the impact that they no longer want to drive again. They're like, forget it. Driving is just too dangerous. The road is a minefield. I'm not driving anymore. Why? Because of the negative impact of driving. They had an accident. Some people, they may have had bad relationships, bad friendships, bad romantic relationships, friendships. And because of that, they go, you know what? The heck with everybody. I'm staying by myself. Y'all stay over there. Why? Because it impacted them, right? And we're seeing how firsthand encounters or experiences, how they impact us. And that is how we express ourselves afterwards. Or if a dog has bitten you, right away, you think that all dogs are vicious, right? All dogs are dangerous. No, not all dogs are dangerous, right? Bella, the little Yorkshire Terrier that's around here, can't do nothing, right? But someone who's been bitten by a dog, they may generalize it because that's the experience that they encountered. And all dogs, even little Bella, who weighs like half a pound, becomes dangerous to them. So the same can be said about authority, the very same thing. Again, the first experience that we encounter with authority is going to imprint, shape, and mold our perspective, our idea, how we understand authority. So your experience with authority is going to inform your understanding. Okay, so first experience. Rightly so, someone said out there that parents is your first encounter with authority. Do you agree with that? Absolutely, I agree with that too. Parents are our first experience to authority. Their parenting style affected you and I greatly, or our parents' style affected us greatly. There's usually 4 styles of parenting. You think about it, about how your parents raised you when I mentioned these 4 different styles, okay? Are you ready? Were they authoritarian? Strict? They don't let you do nothing? Very rigid? They don't let you talk? Don't let you express yourself? Is my law, my way, or you die? That's authoritarian. How about, take you out, right? I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. That's authoritarian. You're not allowed to question. What about authoritative? Authoritative is parenting that, yes, has rules, has guidelines, is strict in their own way, but also gives the child the room to grow, to question, to ask. That's authoritative. Other parents are permissive and others are uninvolved. Now, depending on what type of parent you had, this experience or this encounter firsthand with experience shape and mold your understanding of authority. So that's why you have some kids that don't respect, because they maybe had parents that were permissive, right? They just, hey, your son just slapped me across the face. Well, you know, you got to let children express themselves. No, heck no. I'm going to teach that boy a lesson, right? Or maybe you have, you see children that are very disconnected. You know, it's very difficult for them to kind of connect. Well, maybe the parents were what? Uninvolved, right? And so we see that our experience with authority, whichever style your parents had, really shaped and molded our understanding of authority. And perhaps maybe till this day, we still have that idea or understanding of authority. An abusive parent, for example, an abusive parent may have taught us to hate authority in general, right? An abusive parent may have taught us to just not want authority at all, to rebel against all authority. Why? Because that is the first encounter we had with authority. And then we go to school and we have teachers that say we have, you know, they're authority figures. Everywhere we go, we have authority figures. And depending on our encounter with authority, we are going to have problems. You hear what I'm saying? Why? Because our first encounter wasn't the greatest. So a couple of misunderstandings, or maybe just one. misunderstanding of authority is this. Or maybe I'll ask you the question. I think it's better if I ask you the question so you guys can interact. Power is synonymous with authority. True or false? Power is synonymous with authority. True or false? What do you guys think? Same as, equal to. Power is the same as, is equal to authority. True or false? True? 2 true, 3 truths? Okay. You know me and my trick questions. Question number 2. Power in general. Power is synonymous with equal, same as, equal to authority. True or false? True, okay. Just about the majority said true. Second question. Authority is the strength to submit people. True or false? Authority is the strength to submit people. True or false? False. Okay. So the first question, you guys got it incorrect. The second one, you guys got it correct. Here's why. Because power is the capacity or the ability to move something with force, to act, the ability to exert influence over something or someone. That's what power is. Authority is the sanctioning, the authorization, or the legitimate permission to use that power. So power is the ability, the capacity, the potential to do something. Authority is the permission to do it. So authority and power are not synonymous. An example, I can use power to gain entry into your house by knocking down, kicking down the front door. That's power. Or I can use the key that you guys authorized me to use to go in through the front door. You see the difference between power and authority? So no, they're not the same. And authority neither is the power to submit or subjugate someone. That's a misunderstanding that we have of authority. Most people, when we talk about authority, we have negative feelings, negative emotions, because we haven't had good experiences with authority. Jesus made this difference between authority and power hopefully clear. You tell me if it makes sense to you guys, how he kind of differentiated and he separated the difference between authority and power in this verse. Matthew 7:22 and 23. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name? And then will I declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. Wait a minute. Those people did miracles and they prophesied. So they had the power. But Jesus said, I ain't know you. I don't know who you is. He never authorized them. But they were working in power, but they were not authorized. They had the power, but they were not authorized. You know anyone like that? Who has power, but is not authorized? Okay, let's continue. So why is this important? Again, I'm going to reiterate how I began in the beginning, is because our understanding of authority is going to be reflected in how we treat one another. Our idea, our perception, how we understand authority is going to be expressed on how I treat you. I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples of people who misunderstand authority. And you tell me if you guys fall in any of these categories or if you identify yourselves in any of these categories. You ready for it? Are you game? Okay. Bless you. The first one is called the boss spirit. Y'all know this one. I'm the boss. So in this one, in the boss spirit, it's the misuse of power and abuse of position through manipulation. The abuse of power and their position through manipulation. That's the boss. So manipulation, what is it? It is to control through the playing of mind games. The boss likes to play mind games. Now, when I speak about this, maybe we go quickly into the job, right? Into your job. I don't want you to just think in your job, because truth is going to cover all areas. So that means in your life, in your relationship with your parents, in your relationship with your siblings, your friends, your marriage, in all areas, this is going to apply. Got it? So manipulation is the boss spirit. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. They will do everything they can to manipulate you. The boss spirit takes advantage of people, orders them around, and even coerces them to do whatever it is that they want. We're talking about the boss spirit. The boss spirit also intimidates, it discriminates, it exploits, it suppresses, it oppresses, and abuses people. But the boss spirit thinks they have authority. Do they have authority? They have power, and they're misusing and abusing that power. Again, this could be at your job. This could be at your house, within your family. A second one that we have, that you guys are going to know this one, the I'm in charge spirit. I'm in charge here. I am in charge here. You shut up because I'm in charge. Some people got the combination. I'm the boss and I'm in charge. It's a combination. So this one believes that a position gives them authority. I'm in charge. Does a position actually give you authority? No, it does not. They may be legitimately in charge, right? The company may have put them legitimately in charge. They may have the position of a father or a husband, but that doesn't give you authority. You have the power, but you don't have the authority. Because authority is sanctioned permission. You're authorized. You see, I can't authorize myself as a husband. Who authorizes me? My wife. Because my wife has to give me or grant me the permission to have authority over her life. Make sense? If I use power, I am violating her will, because she has not given me access, permission, license. And so what I am doing is I'm behaving, or I am operating in illegitimate authority, or just plain power. So this is exactly what the I'm in charge spirit. I'm the man of the house. You shut up if you know what's good for you. I'm in charge. Illegitimate, unauthorized authority. And we're talking about misunderstood authority. Why is it important? Because our understanding of authority is going to be expressed in how we treat one another. A husband who thinks I'm the boss, I'm in charge, I'm the man, you better shut up, is expressing himself to his wife that way. But is that kingdom husbandry? Is that kingdom culture? I submit that it is not. It is not. Why? Because as a husband, at least within that context, Christ said that a husband will love, or should or must love his wife as Christ loved and gave his life for her. Does that sound like he's giving his life for her? It does not. So this same spirit exists always to usurp authority wherever it finds it. Okay, time is running. The next one is the domination spirit, or the dominatrix. Male or female, either one, seeks to control by whatever means necessary. They're control freaks. Control freaks. Do you know a control freak? These people are heavy, iron-fisted people, and they control with threats or any other trick they can come up with. Any trick. If they can't do it through threats, they'll do it through tears. The point is that they want to dominate you or me. They also micromanage everything and all. These people they want to micromanage and impose that micromanagement on you. Again, they want to control. That's their goal. Who likes to be micromanaged here? Anybody who loves micromanagement? You love it? You love it? You love it? You love it? Why don't we like micromanagement? Because God created us to have dominion, not to be dominated. That's why nobody likes to be dominated. So, for this person, if you think that that's real authority, you have to understand that genuine authority, it never controls. It releases others to exercise their authority. True authority, genuine authority, never controls, suppresses, oppresses, limits, restricts, but it releases you to unleash your authority. Want some more? Maybe this is you. Do you see yourself here in the dictator spirit? The dictator seeks absolute power over others and situations. So it's not enough to have power over you. They want to have power over your situation. When you get up in the morning, how you brush your teeth, how you comb your hair, how you smell, what you do, where you go, where you don't go, who you hang out with, who you can't hang out with, what do you say, how you say it, how you do it. They want control over everything. Do you know anyone like that? So this person doesn't allow freedom of expression of ideas. They don't allow you to think. They don't want to hear your thoughts. You know, you have a problem and or they have a problem and you have maybe the solution or an idea. At least you have a suggestion. You have an opinion and they just knock it down, shut you down, shut up. When I want your opinion, I will give it to you. But until then, shut up, right? The same spirit denies people the ability to be fully human. These people, they keep you from just being everything God created you to be, because you were created to have dominion, to rule, to govern, to have self-governance, to be free. But these people don't even want you to be human. They want to control you. So the same spirit loves to make people surrender. This is the type of person that will keep on top of you, on top of you, on top of you, mentally, emotionally, even physically, until you surrender. But God never called us to surrender, did he? He called us to submit, but not surrender. Those are two completely different things. That's your homework. What is the difference between submission and surrender? What about the title spirit? What do you think the title spirit is? The title spirit believes that authority automatically accompanies a title. Authority automatically accompanies a title. So someone just, they get married or they have a child, automatically they believe that child is that they have authority over that child. They go into a job, they go into a new office, they believe that they just came in, but that they have authority over everything. No, you may have the power, but you don't have the... Where does the authority come from in a job? Where does it come from? The correct understanding of authority, not the misunderstanding. The employees. Until I give you permission, you do not have authority over me. And this is important because even in leadership within the church, people try to impose their will upon you. Kind of mount you like a mule and say, let's go, giddy up, right? But authority, who understands authority, they know that that is not the way in the kingdom. They know that you must grant them the permission to speak into your life, to be a mentor, to be a teacher, to be a pastor. We give the permission, or we authorize people in our lives. So we must not confuse these titles or these labels as legitimacy. Because even counterfeit things, and you ladies know what I'm talking about, if you buy one of those fake bags, right? Gucci, They still have a label, but they're what? Still fake, still counterfeits. People have labels and titles. It doesn't legitimize them. They may still be fake, counterfeits, without authority. Legitimate authority comes through earned permission, not titles. You see, authority comes when you get to know somebody and you know that they're not trying to oppress you, suppress you, control you, manipulate you, intimidate you. You begin to see that this person has your well-being in mind and they're helping your life. You begin to grant them authority. Some of you guys know this one, the loud spirit. This spirit believes that the one who speaks the loudest and making the most noise, they believe that equates authority. No, it just says you're obnoxious. It doesn't give you any authority. You're just obnoxious. That's it. So these people, they rule through fear and intimidation of others' humiliation. They rule through fear and intimidation of your humiliation. Why? Because they're loud, and if you speak up, you're afraid that you're going to be embarrassed or humiliated publicly, right? So this is how these people keep control, how they keep manipulating others. Okay, so did you identify yourself in any of these categories out of the ones that we spoke about? Did you see any of yourself in there? Yes, no, maybe so? I think she's got some problems over there with one of these or a combination. Yeah. We're going to have a prayer service after this, so don't worry about it. So authority doesn't dominate, overpower, it doesn't dictate, it doesn't oppress, it doesn't suppress, it doesn't master us, it doesn't force, it doesn't manipulate, it doesn't subject us, it doesn't terrorize us, and it doesn't bring us into subjugation. Does that make sense? You're getting a clearer picture about what authority and power is? Okay. A couple of results of misuse and abuse of authority, and then we're going to be over. You guys still with me? All right. If we misuse or abuse authority, or if we were misused or abused by authority, any authority figure, a teacher, a parent, an uncle, an aunt, anyone that we saw as an authority figure, if they misused or abused us, or if we misuse and abuse others by misusing authority, these are the consequences that can happen to people's lives. Again, the first reason is that I said, why is authority so important? Because our understanding of authority is going to be expressed through how we treat one another. So listen, the consequences that the kingdom does not want to produce in any human being. Misuse of authority will produce fear in some people. They will be afraid of being ruled or controlled. So they'll walk around in fear. Have you ever met anyone who walks around in fear all the time? They probably were abused by authority. Here's another one. Intimidation or timidity. Someone who's been misused or abused by authority, it'll impact their lives in such a way that they'll go along with the crowd or anyone. They'll go along with anyone. Why? Why will they go along with anyone? Because they feel they have no other choice. Imagine, think about that. When you're dealing with other people, do you want to imprint in them that they have no other choice but what you tell them to do? Here's another one. It can create a person of distrust. Now imagine, these are people in the kingdom. Do we want people in the kingdom this way? When God created man in the beginning in Genesis, he said, have dominion. And here we have people in the kingdom, because of the misuse of authority, that they're walking around distrusting. And what happens to people who have been misused or abused by illegitimate authority? They seclude themselves so that they're never taken advantage of again. And yet Christ says, go out into the world and make disciples. But this person is secluded because authority or the misuse of authority impacted their life negatively. And so they're walking around unsure, distrusting everyone and everything. Some people become suspicious of everything. They suspect all authority figures. And they go through life suspecting everyone. Anything that has to do with authority. They go to college, they go to school, they suspect the teachers. Any form of authority figure, they just can't seem to have a way of connecting with anyone nearly related to anything that has to do with authority. Imagine living through life in that way. How do you have a healthy relationship in a career, in your job, in your school, in your family, when everything is built on authority? It can create someone who has a life of friction, difficulty working with authority. I've known people within church who just have problems working with authority. They love God, but they've been hurt, they've been molested, they've been abused, they've been raped by authority. I don't mean raped physically, I mean emotionally, I mean mentally. And so they have a problem. And so when we speak to them, or when we have spoken to them, or we try to engage with them, they are very, very kind of have this defensive line on them. Friction. Defiance. People who have problems with authority, they're going to disagree. They're going to be very disagreeable, and they're going to be belligerent with others. Defensive, we already said that one. Easily offended, that's people who are easily offended. We have people who are going to have resentment. We're talking about the consequences of misunderstood authority and the misusing of authority. We can create people who protest, people who object to any suggestion or input to help them. Have you ever tried helping somebody, but because they see you as an authority, they don't want anything to do with you? I don't need your help, get away from me. No, forget about you, man. Because they've been hurt by authority, they don't want your help because you represent authority. Avoidance is another category that it creates. People of avoidance, people who avoid exercising authority themselves. They walk around with their head to the ground because they had a problem with authority. And so not only are they not going to fulfill the purpose of God for humanity, which is, I put you here to have dominion, they will not walk in dominion, but they'll walk in a way that is completely in avoidance of ruling and self-government. They won't take dominion in their lives, and they won't take positions of authority either because they have a problem with authority. So you offer them the position of supervisor, manager, CEO. They're like, not me. I'm okay. I'm content here. Because they have problems with authority because they were abused by authority. We're almost done. You guys still with me? People of threat, they'll constantly fear authority. They feel like they're threatened. Everyone threatens them. Everyone threatens them. Everyone threatens them. There's nothing that doesn't threaten them. And then the last one is stress, anxiety, and worrisome people. Stress-filled, anxious, and worry-filled people. They become distressed when dealing with authority. I've dealt with these people before. Because they see you as an authority, they become completely distressed, unwound. They fall apart. They can't look at you. They feel uncomfortable. They don't know what to do with themselves because they've been hurt by illegal authority, unauthorized authority. So authority is not about lording it over others. Jesus said to the religious people, you guys lord over these people. But authority is not about lording over others, but it's about helping others to lord over it. But what is the it? What is the it? Whatever is it that they need to overcome in their life. It's not about lording over you. It's about helping you to lord over whatever you need to bring to the obedience of Christ. That's true authority. Authority will never suppress, oppress, manipulate, intimidate, Never, never. That is not authority. Don't ever submit or surrender yourself to that type of a person, whoever they are, because that's not authority. Now, they may have power. If that's your boss, they have the power to hire you or fire you, but they don't have authority over you. They have power, granted, but they won't have authority. If you're a parent and you're misusing authority, you're going to have power over that child, but guess what? That child is not going to grant you access. You will not have authority over their lives to speak into their lives, because authority grants you access into the life. Power is not going to do that. Power is forceful. Power is controlling. Power is intimidation. Power is coercion. And anyone that tries to impose their will on me, they're going to have to make me tap out, because I'm not having it. I'm going to fight with everything I have. Would you? I hope that you would fight with anyone who would try to impose their will on you. But if someone is doing everything they can, like Jesus Christ, I came not to be served, but to serve and to lay my life down for my sheep. When you have that type of authority before you, I'm good. I'll submit and surrender before that type of authority anytime. See, the good shepherd gives his life for his sheep. The good shepherd gives his life for his sheep. That's authority. Authority will always lay down their lives so that you can become everything God created you to be. All right, so that's hopefully a clearer focus of what authority is. And I pray that we meditate on what this is, because again, let me finish and conclude with this as we stand. Here's what I want us to remember and not forget, because we are human beings, are we not? Human beings. We are social animals, are we not? Social animals. Social beings, are we not? And so we interact with one another, right? Through relationships, and how we understand authority is expressed through how we treat each other. That's why some person will stand in your face and they think they have the right to yell at you, treat you like a child, because they misunderstand. They think they can tell you what to do every time because they misunderstand authority. And so we cannot make the same mistakes of whether if it was our parents or the past generations within the church, whoever it was. We need to understand that authority will not do that, so that we can raise a new generation that understands authority and not be put off by it.